Hello, welcome to tonight's weather alert for this very strong coastal storm with tropical moisture. You can see the bright white clouds. It's all heading our way, and the models once again went back to their original solution, which means more rain and more wind for us instead of having that storm kind of split. Now we're seeing it totally, it's going back. So the models, there's been a lot of variability in the models. It makes it hard to forecast. You can see the clouds moving in, the denser clouds. We had some light showers today, but other than that, you could see this coastal storm right here developing. And I think this is Jerry, or is it Jerry is over here or over here? Let's go to the Hurricane Center. I think this is Jerry over here. So it's now remnants of Jerry. Jerry, I didn't really talk too much about Jerry. It's over here, but this is going to get drawn into this bigger circulation here and enhance the rainfall. And it's just remnants of a tropical system, but it's going to help definitely enhance the rainfall. Let's just look at lightning and see if there's don't see a lot of lightning here, so not really a whole lot of convection here, but there is definitely a solid shield of rain coming in for us, and we have to be on alert for all of this right now. So you can see we've got a high wind warning for the Eastern Suffolk County. See there, high wind warning. As well as a coastal flood warning. That's for the entirety of Long Island. We have a wind advisory for the western half of Suffolk, Nassau County, New York City, and most of New Jersey with a wind advisory. However, along the Barrier Islands, there's also a high wind warning as well as a coastal flood warning in effect. So it's a major storm, obviously, that we have that's coming in right now. If we go to the latest briefing, I showed you this briefing yesterday. Now they're saying widespread moderate to major coastal flooding for the South Shore bays of Nassau and southwestern Suffolk counties during times of high tide. Damaging winds are expected across eastern Long Island, and a long-duration rainfall with an average of 1.5 to 3 inches with higher amounts near the coast. And this is the high wind warning. This is for eastern Long Island, eastern Suffolk, 12 p.m. Sunday to 6 p.m. Monday. So it's a long duration because the storm is going to stall out, and this is the worst case. This is a bad situation, all right? Yes, coastal storms definitely something we've always had, but having them stall, that's unusual. That's and we'll get to that when we look at the models. Peak winds, northeast winds of 25 to 40 miles an hour, with peak gusts up to 60 miles an hour, particularly for the immediate coast. There are going to be scattered trees down. Power outages are likely. The wind advisory is for the rest of the area. That's Sunday 12 p.m. to Monday 6 p.m. Northeast winds of 25 to 35 miles an hour, with peak gusts up to 50. Especially for the immediate coast. Strongest winds Sunday afternoon through Sunday night. And the strong winds could blow down scattered tree limbs, and there could be some power outages possible. All right, this is what their wind gust map is. So the worst is for the east end. Further west you are, the better. And this is Monday's maximum wind gust. So Monday, we still have the wind around on Monday. And then the official rainfall forecast, we could see as much as 3 inches of rain in parts of Suffolk County. Definitely needed, but we don't need it in a big storm like this. But let's go and look at, first of all, just look at the sky tonight. We had mostly cloudy skies today, but there were some breaks in the clouds, and the clouds look kind of unusual. This is what I saw tonight, actually. You could see some unusual looking clouds here along the water here. Rather unusual looking, to say the least. And this is what it looked like tonight. Again, some breaks in the clouds, believe it or not, ahead of the main shield of clouds that's coming in. But we will have, again, I can kind of go back to the satellite loop here, kind of show you. Actually, just go to the MODIS, the high-resolution satellite, and show you this as well. So you can see here, again, we're in this area of little breaks, but the thicker clouds will be coming in. Looking at the radar, you can see plenty of rain falling over coastal South Carolina, coastal North Carolina. Well, not so much coastal, the eastern half of it, Raleigh, and also into the coastal Virginia. And then all of this is moving northward. All right, so looking at our current weather right now, nothing too crazy yet. Get these buoys. Nothing too crazy yet. It's not going to be too crazy yet, but it's going to get a lot crazier. And these wave heights are going to get crazier too as well. Here we go. Of course, no reported wave heights on any of these buoys, which I'd like to see. So actually, I'm going to have to go back to this and go here, and we'll just briefly go over our Oops. Just briefly, just pull down this menu here. Briefly go over our isolate climatological report for today. High of 71, 5 degrees above normal. Low of 58, 9 degrees above normal. So 8 degrees above normal today, despite the east wind and the clouds. We still managed to be above normal. Warmer air mass in the picture. You can see also storm warnings in effect and gale warnings for the Long Island Sound. Storm warnings in effect for the offshore waters. And this is the radar. And you can already see some light rain. There was some scattered light rain showers earlier, but there's more rain that's going to be entering the picture very shortly. So let's go and look at the models now, and we will let's put this to the eastern U.S. view here, show you everything. GFS, obviously, here's the GFS. So you see what happens here. GFS starts the rain tomorrow, and you can see those tight isobars there, and just a river of rain coming in. And then because of the low stalls, that rain's going to linger into Monday. We're not going to get rid of it until Tuesday, so and it still might hang on the east end even for part of Tuesday, according to the GFS, before we finally see improvement on Wednesday. The European, here's the European, kind of looking like an agreement. It does look like the storm still splits, though. It's splitting the storm, but it's splitting it in a different way. So you can see that first low there, that the southeast low kind of goes into Carolinas, and then the second low takes shape and strengthens as we head to Sunday night and Monday, and the low actually goes right on top of us, kind of backs up and doesn't really get out of here until, like I said, Tuesday. So that wet weather is going to linger around, and we're going to see a lot of rain as a result of all of this, and that easterly fetch is going to be a problem. Let me go back to this. We'll just show you the upper air here. Kind of show you the upper air. Let's go to the upper air because you can kind of see the difference here. What's changed? So this is what we have here. You can see that this little piece of energy here, that's what's going to energize that second coastal low right there, right? And you can see it kind of, you can see it's kind of just merged into that low there. All right, so it stalls out because there's a huge ridge here. It's got nowhere to go, so it kind of gets stuck. But if we compare this to the euro from yesterday, let's go back to yesterday. Things are in a little bit of different places here. You can see it forms that low further east. So when we go to the new run, it's much further west, and it's broader. So that means that it's going to be affecting our area more. So, and if we look at the jet stream, just for laughs here, look at this jet stream we have. So you can see they've got this huge just trough that's kind of just cut off right there. So it gets cut off, and it kind of gets stuck, and that's the issue. That's why we're seeing this storm kind of stall out. So let's go and look at more of our short-range models. That we have most of our short-range models now to look at, so let's go ahead and look at them. Here is the HRRR. So you see the rain getting in here at tomorrow sometime around noon, and it's not going to be particularly heavy. It's going to be light to moderate, and then it maybe eases off a little bit. Maybe you have some drizzle, and then you see some more shower activity come in on Monday. Now, the HRRR not looking as tight with the winds. It seems like it has the worst winds overnight, and then it kind of backs off on the winds a little bit as we get into Tuesday night. We still see the rain kind of lingering around. If we looked at the HRRR solution, it doesn't look like, it still looks like a good amount of rain here, 2 inches plus for eastern part of Suffolk County, and 1 to 2 inches Nassau County, maybe closer to 2 along the shore, and less as you head north and west. However, again, every model is different. Let's go and look at the NAM. So here's the NAM. And it has a little more of a solid shield of rain and some heavier rain into the mix here as we head into overnight. And there's that low kind of just sitting there for Monday and keeping the shower activity around. Could be some sucky drizzle in the mix there. And the winds also stay up because you see the isobars are tighter. So the NAM definitely has a more amplified solution, and I have a feeling more rainfall as a result. So if we total, yes. So that area of 2 to 3 inches covers a bigger area. And look at that. Some areas along the shore could get well over 3 inches, perhaps as much as 4 inches along the Jersey Shore if the NAM were to verify. Okay, so let's go now to the what other model can we look at here? I mean, HDRPS, I don't. Yeah, all we have is 18Z. You can see the general idea here that we have, and those isobars are tight. So we're gonna go look at the winds. This doesn't. This gives us winds. So you can see that wind field right there, and that's a really strong wind field right there that you have. Let's go to the European. So you can see those strong winds, and you can see the areas that are affected. Suffolk County, the shore areas. The further west you are, it's mainly along the coast the worst of the winds are, but that's going to mean a lot of waves. You can see the low is just going to linger around, so it's going to last a long time, and that makes the flooding worse, the flooding situation. Let's see what the Euro is calling for with total rainfall amounts here. Similar deal, but it actually has most of the rain falling overnight. Has it a little bit later, like later tomorrow night into Monday. And you can see where the heavier stuff falls. Again, it's a Suffolk County. So that's where the heavier stuff falls. And again, plenty of moisture here with this. Just going to pull out. We're going to show you this here. Plenty of deep moisture here. I'm just going to make this a little bit, the eastern U.S. view. Show you the moisture feed that's coming right from the tropics. So plenty of moisture to work with there. It looks like a good amount of moisture over us. And then you can see it looks like some dry air tries to get in, but you can see there's moist air to the surface. This is kind of interesting. And it's going to be interesting to see how that all works on Monday, because there is drier air, which makes you think maybe the rain will cut off on Monday and not linger around, even though the surface map says it will. So we'll have to see about that. We still have models all over the place with this. Dew points, obviously, you can see the humid air that works in. We have the humid air, but we have a northeast wind at the surface. And you can see that northeast wind at the surface there. East, northeast. You can see on Monday, it backs up and actually brings some of that moisture in, which could help, again, enhance the rain. And that's what's going to cause the rain to linger. And the low just kind of just goes over us and stalls and then goes back southeast again. So this is, again, really weird stuff here. It's like doing a loop-to-loop, again, because it's cut off. There's no jet stream. There's a big high. It's blocked from going anywhere pretty much. So you get an idea of what we're going to be dealing with. Let's go now to Vent2 Sky, and we'll take a closer look at the wind situation here. And we'll go to wind gusts. This is the HRRR model, and then we'll go look at windy, which is the Euro model. And this is Sunday. See, nothing terrible, but we already still seeing winds gusting up close to 40. But then as we go to the afternoon, you can see the winds get worse. The worst winds still stay offshore, but still Jersey Shore. Tom's River could see a 50-mile-an-hour wind gust by Sunday afternoon. Moving into 8 o'clock, you can see that area of how stronger winds makes its way further west here. These are the wind gusts here, over 50 over Suffolk County, and again, 50-plus in Tom's River. And you can see, again, the winds get even worse. And if you're looking offshore here, you got wind gusts 60 miles an hour, so 11 o'clock Sunday night. And then Monday, we're still dealing with it, 2 a.m. Monday morning, 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts across much of Long Island. Offshore, wind gusts close to 63. And then look at this. Monday, here we are at 10 a.m., still dealing with the wind gusts up to 40. So this is a long-duration event with the wind. And look, Monday afternoon, still dealing with some wind gusts up close to 38 miles an hour. And it's not until we get toward maybe Monday night that we see the winds back off a little bit to like 31, less damaging. But this is, again, the HRRR and the Icon model is showing this information. This is the Icon, by the way, which looks a little different already. You could see already. It looks different. All right. Yeah, this is a bad situation. And when we look at the oceans here, these wave heights, again, 16 feet, 15 feet. This is going to be bad. There's going to be a lot of beach damage, beach erosion, flooding, Fire Island. We know the Fire Island ferries are suspended. There's going to be a lot of problems at the coast with these wave heights like this. And you can see 16 foot, really bad. This is Sunday. So Sunday, not as bad. Monday will be a lot worse. 12 foot. This is Sunday night. You can see the waves picking up here. And again, this is the HRRR model that we're looking at here. Look at that. Offshore could be 20-foot waves offshore. So it's a lot of flooding here. Let's now go into the windy.com. Look at this storm here. We'll go to wind gusts. So wind gusts. So this is the European model. This is the European model. Sunday, you can see we're ready. Here we are Sunday where we've got winds gusting to 37. But as we get into the nighttime, that's when it gets worse. And look at what we got going on offshore. Again, 60-plus gusts offshore. The worst of it stays offshore. That's the only tomorrow. But it starts pivoting west. So as we head into Monday morning, here we are early Monday morning, the wee hours of the morning. We got winds gusting close to 50 miles an hour across much of Suffolk. Nassau seeing a little bit less. And then as you head out in the Montauk, this is an area where we could see wind gusts possibly close to hurricane force out there. And there's going to be tremendous flooding as a result. And you can see it kind of just sits here. Here we are Monday, still sitting here, still dealing with the winds. Then it finally starts improving as we head toward later Monday. All right. And all of this is, you can actually show the NAM on here. I know the NAM is a little more frightening with the wind. And I want to just, we all know how bad the NAM is with the, this is like high end here, but gusts over 50 on the NAM as we get to 9 p.m. tomorrow. There's going to be, could be a good amount of power outages, especially because the leaves are still on the trees. So I'm thinking we could see as much as 100,000 people lose power on Long Island from this storm. From this. All right, so that's the NAM. Let me go back to the European, and we're going to go ahead and look at wave heights. Let's find that. There we go, right here, because this is the other concern that we have. All right, this is 2 p.m. tomorrow, and it's already looking pretty bad with 10 to 12 foot waves, and this is not even the worst of it. So as we head into overnight, Sunday night into Monday, now we're dealing with some really bad conditions here. 15-foot waves off Montauk, 13-foot waves off Jones Beach and Fire Island. And as we get further into Monday, you can see these waves are pretty bad, actually. So the worst of it is going to be overnight, that Sunday night into Monday morning time frame. So at night, that's when it's more dangerous because it's dark. You can't see the water. So if you're in a coastal area, I probably would think about getting out of there. You can, because this is really a really bad situation. And I know New Jersey declared a state of emergency. I have not heard such from New York. So let's just lastly take a look and see how this is all going to impact transportation. Let's see if MTA has any advisory on the storms. No advisories on the storms. Nothing from their website about the storms. I know NJ Transit has posted something about the possibility that they may have to suspend service if conditions get bad enough. NJ Transit prepares for strong winds and heavy rain. So go more info. So this is we have. They are operating regular service for the regular schedules for the weekend, but there could be delays and cancellations because of storm damage, particularly along the coast. What about Nice Bus? Do they have anything? Let's see if they have any alerts on this storm. No alerts on the storm. What about Suffolk Transit? They have any alerts on the storm? Does not look like it. Just have detours. No alerts on the storm. So there could be service impacts on Long Island too. I don't know why the MTA is saying there aren't going to be any. They're kind of in denial at this point, I think, as to how bad this could be. I'm hoping it's not, but the potential is there. All the models are showing that it will be pretty bad, and a significant coastal storm. And like I said, there could be some power outages. Worst impacts near the coast, and of course, the worst thing is it lingers around. It doesn't get out of here, and so we're dealing with these conditions for a long period, and it's going to suck. That's for sure. And yeah, you may be stuck indoors 2 days in a row. I may be stuck indoors 2 days in a row, which is going to absolutely suck. So anyway, that is all. We'll keep an eye on this storm tomorrow night. I'll have another video tomorrow. Sometime I'll have another video about it. And we'll have to see what happens as this storm slowly moves toward our area. A major coastal storm. High wind warning for Suffolk County, Eastern Suffolk. Wind advisory everywhere else. Coastal flood warnings in effect. And we could see as much as 3 inches of rain. That's the only good thing about it. That's the silver lining. We need the rain. Anyway, have a good night.